Hi everybody, welcome back to Willie's American Guitars. So, this is cool. This is a Gretsch. Rickenbacker. It's not a Gretsch. You can't fool us because we are the professionals at this kind of thing. So it's interesting that Rickenbackers, all the hollow bodies, the F-holes, up till 1964 were always double bound. So you've got Fender that has their pre-CBS 1965 features. You've got Gibson, who in 1965, Ted McCarty had left Gibson and a lot of things changed. You've got Martin, who in 1964, they moved into the new big factory. And then you've got Rickenbacker, who in 1964 transitioned over to the double bound bodies to no binding or that carved top on the 360s. So and the 360s have the big binding on it. So this is kind of a cool feature. You'll see on these earlier ones, it's really obvious if you have a double bound one. It's either an early one or a late 60s one. They made this guitar, they called it in the factory an old style in the 60s. So it would say 360 OS, which meant old style, and then by the mid 70s they started calling it WB, with binding. And these 60s Rickenbackers have a particular sound too. There's something about these old Rickies. It's a little less volume than the newer high output pickups, but there's also some tonal character to these that's just, and by the way, I'm running through a Rickenbacker amplifier. This is mine. I'm not interested in selling it, but just for the sake of a video and the visual. Now this has its pickup. The bridge pickup is quite a bit down. It is by nature always this pickup, the neck pickup, is going to be stronger output. Because the string goes back and forth like this, in the middle it's actually moving quite a bit farther. So if you were in modern day times, you try to unwind that pickup a little bit. Back in these days, all the Gibson, Fender, they all wound them the same and just put them in there. Most people did use the neck pickup. The bridge pickup was a little harsh and a little bright. And then in the middle position, as you guys know, this is a blend control that will blend all the way from the neck pickup, both pickups, to the bridge pickup. And for me, when I play my Rickenbackers, I kind of enjoy that because I can just ride the blend control and that there's a certain woodiness. The weird thing is with the blend control, if you have one pickup on, you can actually eliminate the pickup too. So you've got to be wary where that goes, right? There is a certain sound to these that comes out, and you can see, let's see if this would be able to pick this up. Modern pickups have a little dot right there in the toaster top. The old pickups do not. There's a little bump in the rubber in the more modern pickups. So this is a 1967 Rickenbacker 360, and you can tell from the inlays and then the double bound 360, and a rare guitar. There's probably only 50 of those made. And then we got this, which just came in. This used to be a 67. And when I say used to be a 67, the body is from 67, but the guitar was smashed. As we got it many years ago, we sold it and we got it back. We were told in the 90s this was rebuilt out of 90s pickups. Let me see if I can see that little dot. Yes, I can. You can see that little dot right there in there, that little bump in the rubber. So you can see old pickups right away and modern pickups. This has 90s pickups in it. They're a little more power. But but there's that certain woodiness that you just don't get out of Gibsons or Fenders. Fenders are bright, they sound like a steel guitar. Gibsons have their own sound, there's a little more power, certainly easy to bend strings and solo on, but there's something about these Rickies that have a little clickety-clack to them. They're a great songwriter guitar, great singer guitar, because you can still hear a Rickenbacker with everything else going on. The Rickenbacker has a tendency to cut through. And then, of course, this is partly Rickenbacker. This is a weird guitar. This guitar is like $9,000. This guitar is, if I miss my guess, no, this is $3,500. This has a slightly wider fingerboard, but it has that traditional half binding here, so you see half the fingerboard. That's a Rickenbacker thing. It has these big inlays that go all the way across, the darker wood, and comparing these two side by side, this one with a new neck, this one with an old body but 90s pickups, and this one has a 90s hard shell case. This has the original silver case and it is an all original guitar. They're a little ducky to work on and tweak. We're used to it. We like Rickenbackers, so we understand it. And then, of course, we just got in 2 Rickenbackers. These guys are like 2 years on back order. They've always been on back order. They're always hard to find. But here it's more power, more volume. These higher output single coils compared to the toaster tops single coils, these have a little more, they're high gain. They're meant to be a little higher gain. And for a lot of people, a little easier to use, but they still have that woody Rickenbacker sound. Now these 330s, they were double bound in the 60s too, and then they became plain without binding. Still the really cool cat's eye sound hole, the lightweight, the semi-hollow body sound, the blend control. On the 330s, you have the simpler inlay, no neck binding, and you only have one jack, where the 360s, of course, have the twin jacks on them, and one of those is stereo for these jacks. The stereo, you'll need a stereo splitter box. Rickenbacker will provide you with that. I have sold thousands of Rickenbackers, thousands over the past 35 years, and I've probably bought 2 boxes for people that wanted this pickup to go to that amp and this pickup to go to that amp, and then use that blend control like that. Then you really do get a stereo sound, and you can set up your amplifiers to different things, or if you're recording different inputs to different frequencies and roll back and forth. It's kind of a cool effect. Nonetheless, Rickenbacker, tiny factory compared to the other factories. They're determined to stay that size. The factory is the same size it was in the 60s, even though right now the guitar market is on fire and people are buying guitars. They are years on back order. We're happy to have them. We love old Rickenbackers. If you have any, we'd like them. Steel guitars, bass guitars, 6 strings, 12 strings. We just dig the way they look. It's such an American vibe. And then we do have new guitars coming in all the time. That's it for us right now. That's our Rickenbacker video. 360s, 330s, Fire Glow, and then back behind me is Maple Glow. Make an appointment, give us a call, come in, try some.